making a lot of noise at AT&T Stadium.
Anything that moves between these lines, gotta get dealt with.
10, 5, and he streaks in. Deep to the post to Lamb. At the 5, to the goal line.
Dallas Cowboys Game Night is presented by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
Mark it at the 46. It's a gain of 27. Mayfield now. Shot down the field. It's McMillan. He got it. No, picked off by Lewis. Lewis fought him for it and took it away.
A back and forth affair, and one that could have been written in a movie script. A game of inches turns into a 2-point Cowboys win on Sunday Night Football. 26-24 the final from AT&T Stadium in Week 16 as we welcome you in to Cowboys Game Night. Live reaction, highlights, and a whole lot more from the Cowboys win over the Buccaneers. Alongside Emmy Award winner Isaiah Stanback, Super Bowl champion Nate Newton. Isaiah's won a Super Bowl as well, don't worry. There's 4 combined between these two gentlemen. I'm Kyle Yeomans, glad you're with us. And the Cowboys played tough today. They got it done, made the plays late. The interception from Jordan Lewis takes away a touchdown from Jalen McMillan. Then you had the late strip from Teron Bland to rip the football free, recovers it on his own right, and that seals the deal for the Cowboys. And a late charge from Tampa Bay held off in the final moments. What did you think about how this one unfolded late?
These guys played hard. These guys played really hard. You talk about the defense stepping up in a major way. Jay Lou made plays. Maris Leafau made plays. Micah Parsons. You can go down the list of all the guys that made contributions today defensively, but ultimately they were able to put a lot of pressure on Baker Mayfield in this offense. They took them out of their game in regards to their ability to run the ball, right? They discouraged them from running the ball. The offense played complementary ball by going out there and scoring points, making big splash plays, and then getting ahead. And once that happened, Coach Zimmer was able to let loose and put these guys to the line of scrimmage, double A gap, make it confusing for the O-line, and it was bombs away after that.
Bucky Irvin, Rashad White, good, talented running backs. They can catch, they can run. The offensive line is powerful, got an all-pro left tackle. They kept them in check for the most part. Now, like you said, Kyle, it was back and forth, but for the most part, our defense kept them in check. Offense got out early, defense held on, like Isaiah said. It gave Coach Zimmer a chance to play chess instead of checkers.
No doubt about it, and of course, this is a day where the Cowboys were eliminated from playoff contention, but still an opportunity to play for the guys around you and play for your name on the back of the jersey. That's exactly what the Cowboys did early on as we take a look at some of the highlights. Of course, the Cowboys taking on Mike Evans, who played a lot of games in this building as a part of Texas A&M. Micah Parsons and company ready for the challenge. We start in the first quarter. Dallas strikes on the opening drive with a Brandon Aubrey field goal. Tampa on offense for their first possession, electing to go for it on 4th down. Baker Mayfield's pass to Sterling Shepard incomplete. Turnover on downs. Following the stop, it took only 5 plays, 52 yards. Cooper Rush hits Jalen Tolbert in the back of the end zone for 6. 10-0 Dallas at the end of 1. Tampa gets on the board in the second as Bucky Irving fights his way through traffic into the end zone, and the Bucs are on the board. Dallas would tack on a field goal. 13-7, Dallas driving. CeeDee Lamb gets open. He has the reception, breaks a tackle, takes off for 52 yards. But as he's tackled at the end of the play, shaking up that AC joint, fighting its way back again. He would be taken out of the game for a moment and was actually declared as questionable. As soon as he re-entered the game and makes this play. Breaks another tackle, takes it down to the 1, originally ruled a touchdown. Instead, they put it at the 1. It leads to a Cowboys score. Ezekiel Elliott would punch it in 1 play later. Now, we continue on in the second quarter. Tampa would get back within a score because Baker Mayfield finds the former Washington Husky, Jalen McMillan, over the middle. He slides to make a grab 11-yard touchdown pass, brings Tampa within 6. However, just in case you forgot, Dallas has this guy. His name's Brandon Aubrey. He's pretty good at kicking a football. Hit 2 from 57 or more in the first half. Dallas led 23-14 at the break. We fast forward to the fourth quarter. Baker Mayfield launching it, trying to get back in business after the two teams traded in the third quarter. Some field goals. Jordan Lewis rips the football free from McMillan again. This one at the goal line. Again, looked like a touchdown. Instead, it's ruled as an interception. Lewis takes possession away from McMillan, and the Cowboys get the football back and hold the Buccaneers off the scoreboard on this particular drive. However, Dallas held on offense. Tampa Bay would get the football back, and in doing so, they were going in that quick huddle offense, moving the ball down the field. Baker Mayfield finds a wide open Ryan Miller. This cut the lead all the way down to just one score. 2 points on the board. Dallas needed to kill some time. They failed to do so. This completion to Ferguson as he's upended by Vita Vea. The defensive tackle makes a play. Ferguson stops short of the line. He goes down. It's a turner, or they punt it away. Dallas struggling to find their way on offense, but the defense steps up big right here at the end. You might have missed it if you blinked. Deron Bland rips the football free. He takes it away. They call it a fumble, recovered by Bland, and the Cowboys seal a 26-24 advantage late in this one. Baker Mayfield shocked as it happens. Cowboys get their 7th win of the season. They get back within one game of 500 as Mike McCarthy and Todd Bowles both shake hands at midfield and get the job done. Cooper Rush, Baker Mayfield battled it out to the very end, but it was the Cowboys that end up on top, 26-24. When we come back here on Cowboys Game Night, we're going to hear from head coach Mike McCarthy and a couple others through the locker room as well, possibly some exclusive interviews as well, as the Cowboys get their 7th win of the year and get their 2nd win of the year at AT&T Stadium. More Cowboys Game Night right after this.
This segment is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Dallas Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today.
Welcome back to Cowboys Game Night as we are now joined by one of the heroes of the night. I'll say heroes. There were multiple guys that got the job done, but Brandon Aubrey's been getting it done all year long. Brandon, congratulations on the win. Let's talk about some of those first half field goals before we get to the second half. You've been called upon time after time to kick these long field goals in big-time situations. What's the mindset when you go up there to get the job done in those situations across the board?
Yeah, it's just a kick. Don't murder it. Just want to go out there and be smooth. It's really just going through my process. And when we're within the range I gave myself going into the game, then just use your normal form. Just be nice and smooth.
So what was your range? I mean, what was your range going into the game?
Yeah, around 64, I'd say.
Ooh,
before starting changing stuff.
That's wild. So when the offense is on the field and they're working their way down, trying to make first downs, obviously trying to eventually score a touchdown, I see you go over and you start working in the net.
Yeah.
At what point in time do you start working in the net, and what is your mindset when you're practicing?
It's right around 50-yard line. When we get a first down on their side of the field, then I'm definitely going in the net and just telling myself over and over again, you got to kick to make this drive. You got to kick to make this drive. Focus, trust your process, that sort of stuff.
And what is you guys' sequence in terms of you and BA? Because I know Ryan Anger, I used to play with him down at Jacksonville. I saw you take a couple reps and he snuck one in there.
Yeah.
Like, how do you guys decide on who gets the reps over there?
Yeah, when we're close to that field goal line, then we kind of I hit one, he hits one. I take the snaps from Trent when we're in clear punt situation.
Yep.
So take 3 from him, then I'll go take a knee, wait for us to get in field goal range. When that happens, Banger tosses me the ball, and it's my net, and he takes a couple of field goal snaps from Trent. If we get a sack or a penalty or anything, maybe out of field goal range, and Banger comes and takes back over.
Now, you say you're off there. You say you was in competition with somebody for the most 50-yard kicks. Explain that, who your competition with.
Yeah, so this season, Kaimi Fairbairn for the Texans, he's got 13 plus 50s this year, so I'll come down to the neck with him.
Hey, you've got 14 now, by the way. Just so
Gotcha.
I'm sure you probably already knew that going into it. But how much does that play a factor, the history behind it all? Because I know you were into the football game late. Of course, the soccer career came first, and then you made the switch over. But how much does history play a factor in your head when you're having a season like you are?
Don't think about it at all. The only thing I'm thinking about is going and making a kick. There's so much pressure or stress on each individual kick that each kick kind of a life of its own. I just want to go out there and make that kick. So not really focused on any of that stuff until, at the end of the game when you get asked about it, or end of the season when you take the time to reflect on it.
No doubt about it. Well, you've got a couple more games to go. Continue forward, and we look forward to talking with you again down the line. Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah,
appreciate you.
More
Cowboys game night right after this. The Cowboys get the win 26-24 over the Buccaneers.
This segment was brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Dallas Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today.
More Cowboys game night here from the AT&T Stadium and right outside the Cowboys locker room. We've got Nate Newton. We've got Isaiah Stanback. We've also got Chauncey Golston joining us, who had a sack, one of the 4 for the Cowboys defense as they continue to slow down Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, and then that entire run game. Chauncey, you've had a great season so far, flying under the radar a bit at times, but in moments like this, in prime time, you stepped up in a big way. How good does that feel after getting another big win?
Yeah, it feels great, especially after, we saw the results of the Commanders game. And, people could they're going to come out here and they're just going to lay an egg. And, they're not going to show that true competitive spirit. But as you showed, we fight from the beginning to the very last snap.
How big was the defensive line in a game like this? Because we talked all week about the guys up front for Tampa Bay and what they've done well. Was that a chip on y'all's shoulder to say, hey, in prime time we want to get the job done against a good offensive line that had been having some success?
Yeah, we've just been trying to sustain success that we've been building as a defense over the last month. Trying to stop the run, and then we knew that they were a big screen team, so getting out the stack and being a factor on that too.
Chauncey, about 5 games ago, the defense started playing well. You got inserted. You was a spot player. Now you're a starter. Now you're a guy that gets a whole lot of snaps. How long did it take you to get used to this defense?
To get used to the defense it took a minute because when things get to going fast, you go back to what you know, and we played under DQ for 3 years, so. Some of the old stuff, we go empty. Oh, we usually go this. Yeah. So you just got to shake that off. And I feel like now everyone's more into the flow, and it's becoming more second nature, the defensive checks and stuff.
Yes. Man, tell the people, give people a little bit of an insight as to how the chemistry between the defensive line, because you always hear about the one individual who makes the tackle, makes a tackle for the loss, or makes a sack. How important is it for you guys to be cohesive, and how tight are you guys in that locker room?
Yeah, see, that's the most important part, because when it is time to get that sack, a lot of people see, Micah gets around the edge or he beats him up and under. But for the quarterback, when you see him try to take off and then he has to hesitate, it's because everybody else is being rush lane. They're maintaining the rush lane integrity so everybody else can do their job.
Yep. And that's huge, and that's something that this Cowboys team has done time in and time out throughout the years. But the pass rush is there again. And this is now 28 sacks since Week 10 alone. I mean, without Sam Williams, without Marshawn Nealon for much of the season, without, of course, DeMarcus Lawrence as one of those guys up front, you guys have had the opportunity to step up and show what you have. Is this the deepest defensive line in football, the way that you've shown that depth down the stretch?
I know it's the most – I would say it's the most perseverant defensive line.
That's a good way to put it.
Because, no matter what the game was, we always came and we know that, hey, it's our opportunity, because guys like me, Osa, Micah, we're, in our last year. So, if you're not playing here, you're going to be playing somewhere else, and why not go out there and put great film out?
And people get mad at Isaiah and Nate whenever they say that's the case
Thank
at this
you.
point in the season.
Thank you.
And here's Chauncey Golston speaking it into existence himself, and he's showing it on the field. Chauncey, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you as always. More Cowboys game night going to come up right after this.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today.
Back at AT&T Stadium outside the Cowboys locker room following a 26-24 Cowboys win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Isaiah Stanback and Nate Newton. I'm Kyle Yeomans. Gentlemen, we got to talk about CeeDee Lamb, 100 yards in the first half. First Cowboys player ever to have back-to-back 100 yards in the first half. Now, He did not have a reception in the second half, but you could see laboring through that AC joint injury in the first 2 quarters, and he was able to work through it enough in order to make it happen. What did you think about CeeDee's performance tonight?
Yeah, CeeDee was doing exactly what he needed to do. I mean, he was gritting through the pain. He was persevering for these guys. He was being where he needed to be. And when the opportunities presented themselves, you know, he took advantage. And he was 6 of 7 out of the balls that came his way. I think he would have had more opportunities if the ball was placed in a little bit different location. But overall, he just continued to take care of business.
He stayed in the game. He went out several times in the second half, but he came back because he kept the field balanced. When they go 4 receivers, you still had to pay attention to him, and that let the other guys come open and make plays.
When you look at – you got us? You got us back? Oh, we got us back. Here we go. There you go. Well, we lost our camera. You've got us, and you can hear us. That's always good along the way. But we can continue talking about CeeDee Lamb and what he brings to the table. Let's actually go and hear from CeeDee Lamb after the game, talking about that performance and maybe even the AC joint injury moving forward.
Yeah, man, it's great to see. Obviously, the grit that we're going through, the situation that we're obviously in. But as for us, we're showing gratitude to the game, showing how much we love and appreciate everything and every opportunity that we get, and going out there and playing our ass off.
Let's talk about the play where you hurt your shoulder, and then the next play where you almost thought you had the touchdown.
I really scored. But, my shoulder is out of whack, bro. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm just out there battling and doing what I do. So, yeah, bro, it's not fun. It's not fun. Yeah. I love this game that much, you know, and I'm literally willing to put my body out there on the line for my guys and show, not so much show how tough I am, but it shows, you know what I'm saying? And it's going to take, it's the ground that's beating me up, bro, and you can't avoid it.
Before the season, you were upset when people were questioning your love of the game and with the holdout.
Right.
Do you feel like you're answering those questions that maybe that some fans had by playing through the pain the way that you are right now?
Yeah, I feel like now I've kind of went way past the narrative of the money situation. I do it for the money, of course, but like it's way more than that. Like this is my way of life. This is what I've always wanted to do growing up. This is all I wanted to be growing up. So I'm right now living my dream. So for anyone that's thinking that I'm playing for money, it's kind of insane. It's kind of insane.
And you could see that sort of play, that sort of effort in the first half. And CeeDee Lamb finishes with 100 yards in the first 2 quarters, helping the Cowboys to a 26-24 win. When we come back, we tie a bow on this one and send you ahead to a rivalry matchup with the Philadelphia Eagles this week.
To watch more Dallas Cowboys content on your connected TV, download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. Dallas Cowboys Game Night was presented by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
The Cowboys get the win 26-24 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Week 16 of the NFL season. They win it on Sunday Night Football in front of the home crowd at AT&T Stadium. They have 2 more games remaining, 1 more on the road next week against the Philadelphia Eagles, and then the final regular season matchup against the Washington Commanders. They will play them right back here in Arlington. Isaiah Stanback, Nate Newton, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Gentlemen, final thoughts as the Cowboys get the win. How do you build on this momentum going into Week 17?
Go get healthy, watch the film. Get excited about taking out the Philadelphia Eagles.
Man said it all day long. He's going to be the Grinch that stole Christmas and New Year's Eve.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just keep playing, keep watching film, make sure you're healthy.
No, I'm glad you guys brought that up because happy holidays to all of those at home. Cowboys Nation, we love you. We appreciate all the support and watching, whether the Cowboys are in the playoff hunt or not, and that's exactly what we saw today. The fans showed out in a big way. Nicole Hutchison even mentioned it on the first word presented by Dr. Pepper, and the Cowboys showed out in response to that, winning this one 26-24 the final from AT&T Stadium. One word, how do you feel about this win? How do you get it done?
Yeah, it's progressive.
Progressive? That's
gritty,
a good one.
mean,
Gritty.
and nasty. Just
Nasty.
one word, gritty.
I love it. Joyful is the way that I did it.
Yeah.
The way I'll say it. You can hear it coming way back down the hallway. For Isaiah Stanback, Nate Newton, I'm Kyle Yeoman saying so long from AT&T Stadium. The final score one more time. Cowboys win it 26-24 over Tampa Bay.